Someday we'll get paid for this.
Hello, folks. I'm AP Ticker here with Piggie of the Week. One of the biggest stumbling blocks to getting anything done in Washington over the past 4 years has been a deliberate effort by House and Senate Republicans to block any Democratic proposal. In the Senate, the obstructionism has taken the form of filibuster abuse. Once used rarely, filibustering is now used to impede daily business. And it's not like what you see in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, where Jimmy Stewart talks until his jaw snaps off.
I had some pretty good coaching last night, and I find that if I yield only for a question or a point of order or a personal privilege, that I can hold this floor almost until doomsday.
Today, all a senator has to do is signal the intent to filibuster, and business grinds to a halt. Nominations languish, bills die. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid learned this lesson the hard way. Back in 2011, he had the votes for reform. But instead, he chickened out and made a gentleman's agreement with Minority Leader Mitch McConnell to preserve the filibuster. McConnell, true to form, completely turned his back on their agreement, publicly rat-fucked Mr. Reid, and continued with obstruction as usual. Senator Reid spent the rest of the year complaining loudly and publicly that he should have reformed the filibuster when he had the chance.
Do you think do you have any plans to change the filibuster?
Yes, I do. I've said so publicly, and I continue to feel that way. I think that the rules have been abused, and that we're going to work to change them.
The clamor for reform grew louder after Obama's re-election, and this time it was clear that Reid had the votes and meant business.
Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
Except he didn't. Last week, Reid chickened out again, preserving the filibuster as it currently exists, with a few minor tweaks. McConnell, meanwhile, gleefully began fundraising off of a success at killing filibuster reform. Reid's failure is a lost opportunity that foreclosed the one hope the Democrats had of moving legislation through the Senate and forcing the House to respond. And why? Because the true science fact is that many, perhaps most, of the Democrats in D.C. like things the way they are. They like to look like the good guys when it comes to campaign finance reform, immigration, the environment, you name it. But they like the corporate cash that keeps them living high on the hog even better. So they preferred changing nothing at all. Senator Reid's failure to reform the filibuster was deliberate. And that's why Harry Reid is our Piggie of the Week. I'm AP Ticker, and I'll tell you one thing, that wild horses aren't going to drag me off this floor until those people have heard everything I've got to say, even if it takes all winter. Wow.